Hello, hello. This is the Donbozos podcast, and welcome to our next episode. Just 3 more weeks until Pokemon Worlds, which is super
Yeah.
exciting because we know a couple of people going, as well as we just need something for Pokemon. Because we're not together, so we don't play test, and locals and whatnot have getting pretty stale, and just the meta isn't changing and things like that. But we do have a couple to talk. We do have a little bit to talk about on today's episode. I'm Aidan, and of course, I'm joined by my co-host Jeremy. How are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Went to some Pokemon pre-release and yeah, a little tired since I had to wake up like early for like past 3 days just to attend these. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It is 10:22 p.m. July 30th on a Sunday night coming at you guys. And yeah, sitting here. I'm on my last week of work here at home, and you'll see me back in San Jose at my San Jose place with like the bear background and like the Pikachu's pyramid. Next episode, which is super exciting. Also, Jeremy, at my local, they like those stands they have with like the set art on it. So like
Yeah.
yeah, so they gave me the Paldea Vault one, so you're gonna see a Chen Pao behind me, back at my San Jose place. But yeah, so so let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to talk about this episode for Pokemon. Of course, we're gonna have our local recap, and we're gonna talk about the Obsidian Flames pre-release as well as what we think about the set because it is kind of small for the competitive or just small in general. And then we'll talk about the Justin Basil meta and how we think about the meta shaping up so far. I have been to a lot more competitive locals than Jeremy, so I do have a little bit more say. But I know Jeremy has been keeping up with the meta. And then, of course, we're going to go to our segment, What Is He Cooking? A fan favorite segment where we talk about random decks on Pokemon Card.io. For League of Legends, we're going to go ahead and talk about our LCS playoffs and what we think and how that's going to go and who we'd like to send to Worlds. And then, of course, we're going to end it off with our terrible, terrible VALORANT Champions pick'ems because we suck at those and we curse anyone, literally everyone. We curse them. So, yeah. Jeremy, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we get started?
I'm ready to get started on this one.
All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and talk about our local recap. This is where we go past the week since our last episode and go over our locals. So, Jeremy, did you go to any locals or is it just pre-releases? Because if it's just pre-releases, we'll talk about that in
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah, I went to one league challenge on Friday. I went to the Tofu's one. I went 2-1 playing Arctina. My first match was against I wasn't exactly sure. It was a lost box deck with Greninja, but he couldn't find Greninja, and he was on Fire Energy, so I actually didn't know what he was playing. His Greninja was prized, so I thought he was on Radiant Zard, but then he just like revealed that he got his Radiant Greninja was prized the entire time, and he just couldn't play the game. He was just on like home fade pass like for 3 straight turns.
Yo, he a Delphox player, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So that was I got that one, and then second game I it was like complete opposite. My opponent was on Miraidon with the Raichu, the one that can attack going first, and then he just ended his board like 6 energies going first. It's like I this matchup was really bad, but with that start, I don't think this is like any winnable at all. And he also played it super well, so it was basically unwinnable. And then I game three I played against Matt on Arc Reggie Drago. It was pretty coin flippy. I missed my energy attachment, but he missed an evolution of me judging. But then like yeah, I was able to win that one in the end off like
Nice.
a super broken the barrel draw where I got Sharon's plus V Guard energy
Mhm.
to defend so my art can't get one tap by uh the Giratina attack from Regitrago. Yeah,
Nice.
that's
All right.
yeah. That.
So, what was your overall record in placement?
I got second place going 2-1. Yeah.
Nice. So decent. So you got points. How many points? Did you know how many points you got?
I have no idea. I didn't
All
check
right.
yet. Yeah.
It's not like we can go to Worlds. We don't go to enough events, anyways. Um,
Yeah.
but I played two locals before the pre-release, Thursday and Friday, same place. I think no, is it Wednesday and Friday? I think it was Wednesday and Friday at Hammerhead Games, which was pretty cool. I brought for the Wednesday one. I brought Reggie's, 3 rounds, best of 3. Game round one. I played into Meloetta Mew, and basically both games he got Meloetta Donk Lost City. So literally couldn't win because he hit the Lost City, he hit the Meloetta hit, and if I can't KO the Meloetta on my next turn, I'm just gonna get Lost City. He's gonna boss the next one up.
Yeah.
Lost City, GG. He did that both games. Super lucky. Literally like Cram plus Palpat in hand, hit the heads. Okay, sure, whatever, dude. Because I pathed, right? But whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, game 2 played against. I don't even know, man. Reggie sucks, bro. All right.
Yeah.
But round three. All right. Played against another Mew. All right, but he didn't have Lost City. Okay, didn't have Lost City. It was just a four vacuum list, path list, no Lost City. All right. And I basically set up damage counters where I could do a 5-prize hero with Reggie Alecki. I picked up 5 prize cards, and 4 out of 5 of them were just 4 different Reggies. I was like, that's weird. I totally didn't price check. And I just had 4 Reggies in hand. Anyways, it's a fun deck. It's pretty fun, but I wouldn't like go out playing it in like a cup or like a regional. But hey, I got Reggie's built now, Jeremy, so you can play test it, right?
Yeah, it's for the Reggie matchup that like I might play in like 1 in like 200 games.
All right. Friday, it was 4 rounds, so I decided to go try hard and brought Lost Tina, which by the way we'll talk about later. I'm not a bandwagon. I've been playing it for a really long time now. If you guys have been paying attention to the podcast, I went 3-0-1. My only tie was against Duncan on his Lost Zone box, and guess what? Guess what my 3 wins were? Guess what my 3 wins were?
Or 3 wins. Let's see. What matchups? Is it was it against Guardy?
No.
No, not Guardy. Ooh, let's see. 3 wins. What deck is that popular that you're gonna play 3 of them in 4 rounds? Let's see. I can't think of anything other than
So I
Guardy.
went 3-0-1, and I beat 3 Cross Switcher Tinas, all 3 in a row. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. And keep in mind, guys, I'm playing Lost Tina with 2 Roxanne, 1 Iono, and no switchers, 2 boss. It's the better deck because okay, think about it, Jeremy, right? Cross Tina is sick, right? You hit gate, you hit switchers at like a 7 Lost Zone, you switch up like something, you hit it, right? And then what? Right? For me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give like a comfy, I'm gonna give up a cram, I'm gonna give up a Tina while abyss seeking, and I'm gonna path Roxanne. And then or I'm gonna path, use all my gates, then Roxanne. And now I'm set up 2 Tinas with like 8 energies on them, and now you're Roxanne and path. What are you gonna do? Like it's just so much better. And now I can just boss game, and I don't need to look for switchers. I can just boss, right?
Yeah.
It's just so much. I don't know. I've been playing this deck for like what 6 weeks now, and like all these people at Hammerhead just decided to play Tina with like Henry Brand's switcher list, and I just dunked on 3 of them. Like it's not that good, all right, guys. If you're gonna play Lost in Tuna, I recommend playing my list. I think we posted it on the Twitter, Instagram. If not, we'll post it at some point if you want it. Or you can just like add us on Twitter or something, and like maybe you can add me on Discord and I can send it to you.
Yeah.
I can recommend. I recommend either playing my list or just playing a list out there that doesn't have switchers because it's just 4 cards. Like think about it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you have switches, you're only switching like once a game. It's not like
Yeah.
where you're switching twice a game. I feel like you're only doing it once.
Yeah, you're always conveying away 1 switcher if like you're just never gonna have like a scenario where you actually have all 4 switches in game. So it's just you're only using it once.
Yeah,
So
and
I don't think it's worth it for like
there's no way searching
yeah.
that too. You have to draw into them.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, those are my locals. Reggie's 1-2 and Lost Zone Tina 3-0-1. So that will be the end of the local recap because we have a new set, which means pre-release, and I went to 2 pre-releases. I believe you only went to 1. Is that correct?
I went to 2. I went to 1
Oh, you
today
went
and
to
1
2?
on Friday, yeah.
Oh, okay, sick. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about pre-release cards and pre-release meta. Let me pull them up right now. So first off, we have. Oh, first off, let's talk about how we did. So I'm gonna go over my pre-releases. I went a total of 6-0, 3-0 today, 3-0 yesterday. I played Toxtricity with the supporting Pokemon of Bonsly, Audino, Solrock, and
Oh,
today
dang, you got all these.
today I had a 1/1 line of Trevenant. Yesterday I played. Today I had Trevenant and Palafin. Yesterday I had Togekiss. So not bad. I think Toxtricity is the best one.
Yeah, it probably is.
For in terms of the you get in the pre-release kit decks. Because it's what Palafin, Toxtricity, Togekiss,
Camera.
and
I
Camera.
hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's those four, which is interesting because usually you have decks based off the pre-release cards, but you couldn't make a deck off of Cleffa or Mawile. So
Yep.
it's a little bit interesting because you can make decks off of Palafin and make decks off of Togekiss, but
Yep.
it's a little bit interesting. Anyways, so let's go over it. Let's go ahead. How did you do?
So I played basically the same deck for both days. I opened so my first promo was Cleffa, but I was scared of all the Palafin sniping dirty, so I didn't even run it. I played Togekiss Camera, and I went 1-1-1. We just ID last one because it was the card art midnight one. So I was like we just wanted to leave. It was like 2 a.m. Was like we're just trying to leave here. So we just got packs and we went I went 1-1-1. And though today I went it was like a win per pack. But I went 0-3 today. I was playing camera and my straight up did not hit a single energy off his attack the entire day.
Oh,
I was up like 2 turns. I was like, oh, okay, this is sick. Camera, miss energy, cool, it's fine. Camera again, miss energy. Guess I just lose the game here.
all right.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
that's insane. Yeah,
yeah,
camera a little bit interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and let me put up the promos. Let's go ahead and talk about each card and how they will do in competitive standard because we just talked about what we think is actually okay. Let's go ahead and talk about what we think is the goat for the format because Scarlet Violet we said it was Palmot, and then
yeah,
for Paldea Evolve is definitely low kicks. So this one, I would have to just say it's Toxicity, because although
yeah.
Palafin is cool and can like one shot and cheese out the EXs, you only get one switch, and it's super scuffed. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go Toxicity. What about you?
Yeah, I think Toxicity is the best one. Palfin is probably the next best. You are one shining everything, and if you get your Bonsly and the second Palfin sub, you can perma just retreat over and over. But I think those two are the best. The Tokus line is it doesn't do enough damage for 110 and it's 150 HP, so he gets one shot by all the other ones. So
Mm,
I think that one's kind of weak. And I don't know if camera's good or not. I just did not hit energy the entire day, so it felt like I'm using 2 energies for 50 damage. It was really bad.
yeah. I'm gonna have to agree. I also think the EXs were kind of bad this set to play in purelies,
Oh yeah.
but I did see someone set up a Pidgeot EX, and that was
Ooh.
gross. That was gross. So yeah, and by the way, some kid pulled double Zard in his kit. Well, like, come on,
Yeah.
man, where's my Zards? Um, yeah. All right, let's go over. So we're gonna talk about each promo and how we think it's gonna be in the competitive standard play. Because we just talked about the pre-release format. But yeah, we're gonna go over how well we think it's gonna go in Obsidian Flame Standard. So, Jeremy, we're gonna go ahead and start with the fish himself, Palafin.
Yeah. These single prize stage one attackers are not fast enough for the format. You still need 2 energies. It just requires too much setup, I think. So I don't think this is gonna be any good in standard format, but it also only does 220. It does one shot the regular Vs and EXs, but or most EXs that are basic. But I don't think this one's strong enough to
Yeah,
be played in the meta.
two tens not enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with you. You could do some just weird crap, which is a bunch of switching ropes and just like cross switchers and stuff like that. Just some random deck. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that good. Two waters. If it was one water, I would understand, but since it's two waters, it's not that good.
Yeah. Yeah. It just doesn't hit hard enough.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about probably the most talked about card of this pre-release set, Cleffa, because it's very reminiscent of the Gourmandized Snorlax, but it's just not as good. It's just not as good.
Yeah, it's 30 HP is not in this format where so much just random spread. You just like get sniped by like a Greninja or just Sableye or something. It's like It's like sort of reprint of the old baby Pokemon, but then those actually had an ability where they can't when sleep you can't like you just can't kill it. While like these just don't have the ability. So like before you can just like wall out and not give any prizes, while this one you're just gonna be like a 3 damage counter. It's like is eventually gonna come in.
Yeah.
There's so much
And
spread
like
in the
people are saying,
meta.
like it's free retreat, it's free retreat. Who cares? It's not anyways. Like doesn't matter if it's free
Yeah,
retreat. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good, and it's not what people say it is.
yeah. It's also an attack, so it's not like an ability where you can use it and still play out your turn. It's yeah, you're just not. It's not like a Mew. Like Mew doesn't have free retreat, but at least you can play it and then play out your turn. This one just ends your turn, and then you just get judged anyway. It's like, well,
Yep.
what's the point?
At least in Gorman dies too. You can use it on your first turn. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. This is you can use this one on your first turn because it's your attack. Yeah.
yep. All right, let's go ahead and move over to an interesting one. The stage 2 of the set. We have Togekiss. Now I read this wrong at first. I thought it was
Same.
I thought it was once per turn you can draw 8, but
Yeah, I saw. I yeah.
it's once at the end of your turn before your attack, you draw save
Or
8.
after your attack.
Yeah, after your attack.
It's
So
yeah.
like it's like Radiant Venusaur, but like way worse because it's stage 2 and like has a mediocre attack.
Yeah. It's free retreat, but I don't think it's not good enough. If you're gonna be especially with how much hand disruption is in this format with Iono and Judge, it's like near impossible to keep those 8 cards in your hand. It's part of the
yeah.
reason why there's like some decks are not gonna be some decks got weaker in this set despite getting support because they are super weak to Iono.
Yep. All right, and finally, but certainly not last least, we have a control card. Super interesting that they made a control card a pre-release promo. They could have just put this in the set and
Yeah,
give it something else, like give it like the
yeah,
camera up or maybe like the toxicity. But
yeah,
now we have Mawile, the worst card to get ever in a previous event with
yeah, yeah,
0 special energy. We have special leader when you play this Pokemon for your hand onto your bench during your turn. You may discard a special energy for your opponent's active Pokemon. Can't wait for control players to put like put 4 of these just so they can beat Mew. But Crime Destruction Yveltal's in the format, so in terms
yeah,
of competitive play, I don't think we'll be seeing this. Maybe you'll play one as like a tech, but
yeah.
there's just better control cards out there.
Yeah, I think it'll be very format dependent. There has been like cards like these that have been playable in the past because you can just grab it off your ball search. So it's not like just like Phantom.
Cartana.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I think the most recent one was like the Giratina from like Sun and Moon where it removes special energy, but that one removes it from anywhere, I think, not just active.
Hmm.
So it's I think it will see some play in like specific metas, but I don't think we're currently in one where we need it.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Maybe at some point this G rotations will be here for another 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sander, please cook something up for Worlds. I've been dying to play a
Yeah.
control list. And I can't. I'm not good enough to make my own one yet, but I've tried. I've definitely tried. All right, let's go ahead. That will be the end for Obsidian Flame pre-release. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the Justin Bizzle meta recap because I mentioned this before. The number 1 deck right now is the Giratina V-Star with Comfey. Now, all right. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to explain why this deck is really good and why I've been playing it, and now people are starting to realize it. You have a positive matchup, or just about even, into every deck besides Lost Zone Box. Against Lost Zone Box, it is 50-50 if the Roxanne hits well, or they don't Dragonite donk you. So let me explain each matchup here. So against Giratina V-Star, it's pretty free, because you one shot each other back and forth. But um uh, I, the Lost on Giratina it almost feels like they have a better trade pattern.
Yeah.
Um, because they have to hit Trinity Nova first, which is
Yeah.
pretty bad. Plus, you can like path them earlier, and like path doesn't affect you as much. But for Giratina V-Star with Arceus V-Star, they can brick you pretty easily if their judges are Ano hits. So I think Giratina V-Star with Comfey and Giratina V-Star with Arceus V-Star is almost even, but I think it has a slight favor into Lost Zone
Yeah.
Giratina.
Yeah, I agree. It's I think the main thing is having Star Requiem, being able to trade super well because Lost Zone Tina has Star Requiem, so you don't have to Lost Zone your energies, while Artina has to Lost Zone your energy. So sometimes you're just like you just don't have enough energies to play with when you do that.
Yep. So Lost Zone Giratina, I'm gonna do a quick rundown for each matchup. Lugia V-Star is probably the harder one. It's almost 50-50, maybe slight favor in your edge. You can path block them, but their V-Guard messes with your trade pattern on the Lugia, but it's not that bad. Plus the path sticks a decent amount of times, and you could up trade into Lugia pretty well.
Yeah.
Chen Pao is pretty easy. What you do is you path them, which slows them down a little bit. But all
Yeah.
you have to do is shred back Excalibur. You don't have to use V-Star. You just have to shred back Excalibur,
Yeah.
and then and then you just keep doing that because like what are they gonna do? Chen Pao your Arceus or your Giratina? Okay, just shred back Excalibur again. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Guard EX. Oh my god, Guard EX is so funny. You just stick path. You can Roxanne them. Do whatever. You can like okay. I also think Cleansing Gloves is really bad. I'll explain why, because you use it for what? Gardevoir and Mew. But if you boss Lost Impact the EX, they're stuck. And you're usually flipping marker on Guardy. So it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter if you don't need gloves. And for Mew, the trade pattern is kill the single prizer, so whether it be Deoxys or Meloetta, and then kill a Genesect with Lost Impact, and then kill the Mew VMAX with Star Requiem. And that's how you beat Mew.
Yeah.
And then Duraludon, Arceus. Okay, this was just free. All right, we're really talking. Lost Impact, Arceus, flip marker on VMAX, kill the last VMAX.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they're stupid and like you can kill the Alakazam. I don't know. Or the Luminion. Like it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
Duraludon VMAX. Like people say like, oh my god, Arc Dumbredone's gonna win Worlds. But now the LZ Tina is popular now. So so yeah, that's the quick rundown with LZ Tina and what I've learned while playing the deck for like 2 months now.
Yeah. The deck is pretty solid. I think the biggest thing is Gardevoir's actually kind of bad into the. No, I'm surprised how much Gardevoir is hit by the current format right now.
Yeah.
Because mainly, I think every deck's on Iono, so you can't build a large hand size. And I think it might be time to just go back to like a more Zacian build because you can't set up that many Gardevoirs, your EXs. So if you like like you said, like you just flip the marker under EX, you're just staying with like a regular Gardevoir and they can't set up another EX and it's just super slow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I also want to talk about. I know I'm a little bit red about LZT switchers. All right, Jeremy, can we agree?
Oh, okay.
Switchers
Yeah.
suck, dude. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand switchers. All right, I'm not saying like it's completely garbage. I understand switchers, but it feels bad because when you course and you cover it and you see switcher, you're almost like obligated just to like take it. You have to, right? You can't
Yeah.
leave it because it's a card where you need two of them to play it, right? So you're losing a lot more other consistency cards, which people think it's okay because you're switching up threats. So like, for example, when I'm playing Giratina V-Star Lost Zone and I've been playing it, and what it made like my Tina get switched up, right? Fine, cool, you got a 2 prize advantage, right? But like you crammed my comfy earlier, or you crammed my cramp earlier. Now, instead of me trying to play for switchers, I've now hoarded my Mirage Gates and my switch cards, and now I'm gonna Mirage Gate a crap ton of times, place the path down, and then Roxanne. And now
Yeah.
what are they gonna do? Now I got two. Now I got basically a Tina, like 2 Tinas, like charged up. Because keep in mind, I usually bench 3 Tinas in the LZ Tina mirror because you need it. And now like I got all these Tinas set up. I still got maybe 1 or 2 Mirage Gates if I want to Sableye or Ninja later. And now they're sitting on 2 cards with Roxanne, and I play 2 Roxannes, so it's like I'm gonna see it. But yeah, switchers just like look at all these matchup spreads, Jeremy, and tell me what are you switchering here that or what is the biggest advantage of switchers compared to just having a standard list?
Yeah. I feel like switchers is like counter what you're trying to do. Like switch is nice when you're V starring, but then like when you want to use your V star attack. But by then you aren't just chorusing. You're not even chorusing anyways. You can always just play your boss at that point. You don't. You're ready. By the time you use it, you have already have your loss zone. So like I don't see a point in like just like just play the boss at the end. If you need
E-
to, and then you're like it's just so bricky. I don't know. I feel like it's fine in like
yeah.
these switches are fine in like lost turbo lost blocks because you're like on Pokestop and stuff. But like this feels so bricky in this one, and yeah, like you said, like, you just see it off chorus. It's like, well, if one of these are surprised and I hit the other one, I'm never seeing these switchers, so I have just have like a random brick in my deck.
Even worse, like some dude was like, "Oh, like I'm gonna switch her out Manaphy. Like that's like sick, right?" I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like super raw nest ball, and now you're down switchers. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. Don't play switchers, guys. Play something else. Play standard list with two boss. It's a lot better."
yeah,
Dude, like other Aidan was like playing switcher cologne. Like, dude,
that's crazy.
you're asking for a brick, my man. And he's like,
Yeah,
oh, and I was playing Drake Beyonce. I'm like, nah.
yeah,
Anyways,
yeah,
let's go over. We have some time, so let's go over the next two. I know you're playing. I know the number 3 you've been playing a lot for like a year now,
yep,
but let's go ahead and talk about, of course, Lost Box with the Reigning Greninja. This is the Raikou Dragonite V,
yep,
and then either the ones with like 3 Stone 3 Vacuum or the ones with Kyogre.
yeah. Uh, I don't know. I feel like this has like a slightly favorable matchup against uh Giratina V Star, but I don't feel like the power level of this deck is actually that high. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's not doing enough damage, which is like weird because like Dragon is like slamming for super hard, but like there's a lot more V Maxes like two prizers back in the format, and I feel like they just don't do enough damage.
I think this deck is still number 1. It's just really hard.
Yeah, that's
It's up here for a good reason, if that makes sense. Like
yeah,
people complain about all the time, but we have yet to see like people complain about all the time, but those people who complain about it, they just don't know how to play it to its 100% optimal, lost box, turbo lost box, because it's up there, and I know it's strong because it scares me every time I see them. Flip over
yeah,
Comfey, battle VIP mass for Greninja and Raikou, and it's like, shit.
yeah, yeah,
What now? Um, but yeah, I just think that it's strong for its own right, but people just get put in the lost blender when playing it.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably like one of the decks that like where I see it's like, oh, I could be like I just always feel like unfavored, even though like in any position, I feel like they could just always pull out the win.
Yeah, especially with Kyogre too, huh?
Yeah, just like you can pull out the win. Like every other deck, like you can see like they need a little bit of setup so you can like see like what's coming so you can play around it. But then like Turbo Lost Box, you can just play a card down and then you just like slam 4 prizes on your opponent's like, oh, okay, I guess I just lose here.
Yep.
I thought, yeah, yep.
All right, give us the rundown for Giratina V Star with Arceus.
Yeah, Giratina V-Star with Arceus, I mean, you're just spamming Judge every single turn. The deck is still pretty consistent. I think it's slightly unfavored against the regular Giratina V-Star, the one with Comphase, because Star Requiem, you can't I can't trade with that. I already used my Star Burst. I can't trade with that. That you're just knocking your one Giratina is like getting so much plussing off mine. And then
Yeah.
against Lost Box, the matchup is fine. It's a lot better now that you have both Iono and Judge, so you can like just stall them out more.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then against Lugia, the Lugia matchup is weird. I think it's like slightly unfavored, but the time it's like it feels like a super volatile matchup because sometimes you just stick the path and you just win the game off of it, which
Yeah.
is yeah, which is, I think, a lot of the time, a lot of things like the matchup. Like the next one is like Champao, Gardevoir, Mew. If you just stick to the path, you kind of just like win. Like if your path to sticks, you just win in these matchups. And you're playing judges and everything, so it's kind of hard for them to find outs. And then against like Dura, it's like Arctura Umbreon, which is like kind of scary because their Duras can now one shot your V's in the bench. But thing is, these you need to just play this matchup super aggro and just pray that you can like you have your belt and you just like knock out Umbria. You just like knock out something on the bench that's a two prizer because you always have to hit through you always have to hit through one arc V star. You want to hit through one V, and you just belt knock out an Umbria on the bench at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the rest of the decks, just a quick rundown. Look at V-Star. It's just strong. And you know what? I was talking to some other people at DCG today at Purely's, and it was like
Yep.
Lugia is one of those decks where if one player gets lucky and draws extremely well
Yep.
their entire 2 days, they will win Worlds. Like no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Like if obviously what happened because there will be a brick at some point, but
Yeah.
in a perfect universe, if a Lugia player just draws the nuts every game, no brig,
Yeah.
no nothing, they will win Worlds. That's how strong Lugia V-Star is. But what makes it number 4, in my opinion, is that it bricks pretty easily.
Yeah, I think if all not 8 of these decks is through perfect every game, I think like Lugia will probably be like the strongest, like had this high ceiling because yeah, the deck is just so fast and you can hit hard. But the thing is, yeah, it's like probably the brickiest deck out of the top 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you draw well, if you just draw well every single round, this is probably the strongest deck in the format.
Mm-hmm. Chen Pao just hits hard, dies hard. Like it's all gas
Yeah.
deck. You hit, you don't, you don't. It kind of destroys any of the big decks.
Yep.
Other than that, it just kind of sits there. You can't go
Yeah, I
wrong.
feel
You want to have a fun time playing a competitive deck, you play Chen Pao.
yeah, I think it's very favored towards like the bottom half of the top 8, but it's like it's really rough against the normal lost box and Artina to have so much path that sometimes you just can't clear that many paths. But yeah, I think the deck is solid, but it just feels bad when it feels bad when you feel like you have an all lose matchup in Turbo Lost Box sometimes.
Yep. Guardy feels kind of bad. It's not that bad. It's just there. I think it's just because less and less people are playing it.
Yeah.
We've seen everything regarding. Like we can't see anything more. So everyone knows the matchup. Like all these decks above it, Chen Pao, Lugia, Giratina V-Star, Lost Box, Giratina V-Star.
Yeah.
Like there could be random stuff in there that people could throw in. But Guardy EX, we've seen absolutely everything. Like
Yeah.
like when you play the Guardy EX, you know the game plan, and it's just a top deck because it's strong.
Yeah, I think so. I'm still not the biggest fan of the reversal, or not like just like more focused on the regular Gardevoir, Shining Arcana Gardevoir. I think the old one with like Zacians might come back, especially with like all these reprisers coming back and like Chen Paos. I feel like you can just play Zacians, it can just be faster, but like not winning the single prizers as much.
Mm-hmm. And the rest of the decks, Mew V Max. I mean, we don't need to talk about Mew and Arctura. What people thought might be the best deck to bring to Worlds, maybe not so much. It gets farmed by like half the decks here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like it's good when no one. I think feel like Arctar is always a good deck if no one expects it to be good. It's like, but then once like someone plays like you just roll up against a Champao or like a Gardevoir, it's like, well, there goes there goes one round because those are like so hard to win.
you literally can't beat Chen Pao.
Yeah, it's like
because they
it's
don't
just so
run
hard to
Pat.
win
It's just
those
a
matches.
Lost City deck.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the meta breakdown from Justin Basil. Thank you so much for the tweet and the coverage. Again, if you guys want to, tweet at us about our takes and stuff like that, that's absolutely fine. So let's go ahead and move into our fan favorite segment. What is he cooking? Jeremy, explain what is he cooking?
What is he cooking? So we go to PokemonCard.io and find 2 unique decks that we discuss, and then we'll compare we look at each other's deck, we compare, and then you guys can vote on which deck you think is cooking harder.
Yeah, and I saw that you got our community section working on YouTube. So now
Yeah.
you guys don't have to tweet us anymore. You can now vote in our community section on YouTube. Jeremy will post it either tonight or tomorrow. So let's go ahead and start with what is he cooking. I will go first. We have a Scroll of the Scorn deck, baby. This guy posted this deck a couple of days ago, and it uses the Scroll of Scorn. This attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So How do you get damage counters on your Pokemon, you may ask? Well, it is simple, my friend. You have the Houndoom. Once your turn, you may search your deck for a single strike energy card and attach it to one of your single strike Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck, and then that Pokemon takes an extra 2 damage counters. After that, you then can use Old Cemetery and Charge Bug to then put damage counters on using Bax Caliber. Because how it works is whenever a player attaches an energy card from their hand to one of their Pokemon V, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon, and Bax Caliber can put as many energies as they like from your hand. Specifically, it says from your hand to one of your Pokemon, which means that you will be putting down many, many damage counters onto your Tornadus V, which has a health pool of 320 Pokemon, which then you will one-shot something with 3 Skulls scored for 10 damage. This is a genius idea. And not only that, you have an emergency single prize attacker, because we do need those in the meta, which is these single strike Entei. And of course, we have Karen's Conviction because we're a single strike deck. What do you think of the deck?
This thing's crazy. You know, charge bugs are you're self damaging yourself with old cemeteries. This thing is this man definitely is cooking. Oh my, this guy's crazy. He does not care that he's damaging his own Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't even like run Tower of like Darkness because he's running Old Cemetery. 4 of them, by the way. We got a lot of single strike cards though. 1 Urn, by the way. 1 Urn. 2 Welcoming Lantern. Which is the Versus Seeker, the poor man's Versus Seeker of our day and age. So yeah, this is definitely some cooking.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, let me hear what you got for your deck.
So my deck, it's named Belly Bolt Takes the Cake. So it's a pretty standard Fluffy list, but you run it with Belly Bolt EX. Belly Bolt EX's second attack is Paralyzing Ball. It's 2 electric and colorless. You may discard 2 electric energy from this Pokemon to make your opponent's Pokemon paralyzed. So you just use Paralyzing Bolt, and then the author said you can use Pachirisu or Luxray to basically set them up in the bench and attack. But I think you can probably just cycle Belly Bolts over and over with your Flappies, and then you just perma paralyze your opponent's Pokemon.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
and if you need, since you're discarding the energies anyway, you can always run Cheryl to fully heal up your Pokemon. So you can just
Oh
wall up on them.
god. How do you retreat into each other?
You just pay the 3 retreat costs, I guess.
Oh my god. Okay, this is cooking. This is cooking. I don't know if he's cooking hard enough. 3 retreat costs, you got to discard 2 energy. You might not even be able to like retreat.
Yeah, you just yeah, it's a little rough. Maybe oh, there are actually no switching cards in this deck. Okay. Well, maybe we need to make a little kind of customization into this deck. Maybe he'll
Yeah.
discover that when he plays test the deck a little bit.
This is looking like a paralyzed decks are always so funny because last week we presented the Dunsparce list.
Yeah,
This is just a big belly guy just like wanted to just paralyze people. But yeah, that that is gonna be our decks for what is he cooking. So we have mine, Scroll the Scoring deck, maybe, where you just go crazy with the Tornadus VMAX versus the Belly Bolt takes the cake. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that community post at some point, and you guys can go ahead and vote. I think last week, your deck won from the community post. I believe you had 75% of the votes. So congratulations, this is cool. We finally got our community section to work because we've been looking forward to that, to use that. So yeah, that is going to be it for what is he cooking in our Pokemon section in general. Jeremy, do you have anything else you'd like to talk about for Pokemon before we move on?
Yeah, I'm just. I think Worlds end up seeing Flame releasing on the same day, so that'll be exciting. It'll be like next week will be exciting for Pokemon.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to agree. We're just waiting for Worlds to happen, man. Like, I just want to see, man. Does Arceus win another Worlds, or will Giratina finally shine, or will we all sleep to Lugia, or will a Lost Zone demon finally do it? We'll have to see for Worlds. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into League of Legends. The rest of the episode is going to be very quick, guys, so don't worry. Thank you guys for sticking through with it for the first 40 minutes. We're going to go ahead and talk about the League of Legends LCS playoff. By the way, Sleeper is still not fixed, so our fantasy league, we will not be doing that episode until a little later. Maybe after the LCS finals, we'll have to take a look. So, Jeremy, let's go ahead and start off with your first thoughts on the LCS playoff bracket.
Yeah, so far 2 matches been played: NRG versus TO and EG versus TSM. I would start with the top match. So TO versus NRG. I'm not surprised that NRG won. I feel like even though they were the lower seed, they felt like a stronger team. I feel like their upside is like they're just, although they lose like random teams, like random games to bottom teams. I feel like I just believe in this team more. I don't know. I think I just
Yeah.
I think I don't know why.
The
I just believe in this
CLG
team more.
NRG squad. I'm gonna have to agree with
Yeah,
you. I think Teal's just kind of bad right now, and they need to find their footing.
yeah,
Energy is not a bad team when you look at them like on paper. So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think Energy is a pretty strong team. Will they beat Golden Guardians? I don't think so.
Ooh,
Um,
yeah,
but congratulations to them for beating TL, because TL is like the money sinker like type of team,
yep,
and they definitely sunk some money. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start off
yeah,
with our EG versus TSM, because EG is like one of the better teams right now, and TSM being able to put up a fight like that was not bad. Because TSM is not that good, but they're okay.
yeah,
I don't think they're better than EG with their like Jojo Pyun and like 4 awards type team, but they're not bad. So TSM being able to lose 2-3, good job to TSM. They could definitely make a losers bracket run for sure.
yeah. I'm just happy to see both of these teams actually like are playing pretty well. They're like mostly like NA players, and also these are like probably 2 of the like 3 like them and the Mortals are probably like the 3 like lowest paid teams in the LCS.
Yeah,
And then they're like getting good results. Like instead of just spending like tons of money on imports and like barely making the playoffs, they're like playing with NA players. They're like, doing well. Yeah, and then yeah, I want to see like TSM play more. It's like okay, although Hanser is kind of like you can see that he's not like as like the old Hanser where he was actually the best Hanser in the league. It's nice to see him still playing. It's like a little nostalgic to see him play. And
yeah,
Wild Turtle's still playing pretty good. So
yep.
and then Insanity, yep. And these animates, love these animates. These animates are, I like watching them.
I mean, Wild Turtles, you can never forget him, bro. He will
Yeah,
always come back at some point, and just his little shirt will
yeah,
pop off. All
yeah,
right, let's go ahead and
yeah. And
talk about
then
round 2. Oh,
yeah.
actually, low bracket round 1 or upper bracket round 2? What should we talk about?
Uh, let's see. We'll just start top down again. We'll go Energy versus Golden Guardian.
This one's gonna be
Yeah,
juicy. I think we're doing predictions, right?
yep,
All right, Golden Guardians
yeah.
3-2.
Ooh, Dree 2. I think I'm also on Dree 2. I think, although I think like Golden Guardian is like I definitely see Golden Guardian winning this. I think Energy is gonna make it close. So I think they're gonna take at least one game. I think they will most likely take 2 games. Yeah, I also think Golden Guardian is gonna win 3-2.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be close, but I think Golden Guardians is just a little bit better, maybe a decent amount better,
Yeah,
but Energy will definitely put up a fight.
yeah. All right. Our next match is EG versus Cloud9.
I mean, there's just no obvious. There's just an obvious choice, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like, I as much as we love JoJo Pyun, no one's beating Cloud9.
yeah. At least in NA, yeah.
Yeah,
I think like it's like the old thing where like the top NA team has like the formula with them how to win the region, but even though they might not perform that well at Worlds. I think Cloud9 like are it's gonna. I think Cloud9's gonna three.
I
I
think it's
think
gonna
they're
go
gonna.
3-1. I think it's gonna go 3-1
I think it's
Cloud9.
3-1. I think JoJo's gonna Smurf one game while Eminus like just runs it down one game.
Yeah,
So I think
Eminence
they're
is
gonna
gonna
go.
run it down on Tristana against JoJo LeBlanc, and then like it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's like all right. Yeah, and then after that's like all right, we need to fix that, and then they just went out in the end. But yeah, I think yeah, the 3-1 for Cloud9 for this one.
I'm just waiting till we get to that bottom match because that's gonna be the hitter. Yeah,
Ooh,
Dignitas is TSM. I think it'll be TSM 3-1. Any teams always find a way to get one game in. I don't know how, but they do.
yeah, I think I also favor TSM. The biggest concern is I think there's like a big mismatch between top lane and Rich and Hanser, but
Yeah.
I think I think the rest of the map will be able to pull through. So I think TSM's gonna just gonna be one game where Rich like pulls out Quinn on like a Renekton and just like 1v9s a game. But then I think TSM's gonna win out at the end.
Yep. All right, big hitter.
Ooh.
This is it. We have Double Lift versus Core JJ once again. The 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid. What do we got, Jeremy?
Ooh, let's see. I don't know what do I want to. I think Team Liquid. I think are a stronger team, but Core JJ played like the worst like 4 games I've seen him like ever play like last week against NRG. But I think let's see. Ooh, I think TL is gonna get this one. I think TL wins. I feel like it's gonna be like close game, but I'm gonna say TL 3-0's 100 Thieves.
What? I'm going 100 Thief 3-0.
Oh, no. We're just saying 3. Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a 3-0. Because the thing about both these teams is they mental bloom. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like once they lose first game, it's Jover. Like the other team is rolling with confidence because both these teams I feel like play with ego. So
Yeah.
like like once that first game is over, the series is over.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like it's gonna be a 3-0 series. I just like these are definitely like ego teams. I think they're like if what they play poorly game 1, it might be over already. The
Yeah.
series might be over
Like
by game
someone's gonna
1.
mental boom and it's just gonna be GG.
Yeah. Like one of them gets like Summon gets solo gets the gank to oblivion. It's like all right, the series is done. Or, like Summon just starts solo killing someday. It's like okay, they're just playing a 45 like the entire series. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's gonna be our prediction for round 1, lower bracket, and round 2, upper bracket of the LCS finals. We'll get back with you guys next week for some predictions. Talk about what went well, what went wrong with, and what went wrong with our predictions. But speaking of really bad pickup predictions and caster cursing, we're gonna go ahead and hop into Valorant because Champions just released, and we didn't add this in the episode notes, but we should probably do a skin review of the Champions bundle. So let's go ahead and start with the pickums first.
Oh yeah.
Because we have a lot to go over. We have 4 groups, and I only know half the teams here. So let's go ahead and get started with Group A. We have the fan favorites, PaperX versus the NA Demons Crew East, or not NA, America's Demons Crew Esports. What do we got, Jeremy?
I think Paper X got this. They're going to vote
Really?
them over.
Against the Demons,
Paper X
bro?
is so good.
No,
Yeah,
against the
Paper
Demons,
X.
no. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think Crew will put on a show. I think they're still sniffing whatever they were sniffing during LCQ, but
Yep.
they are our last seed of Americas and Paper X's first seed, I believe, of whatever region they were at. But yeah, Paper X is so damn good. They're so damn coordinated, and I would love to meet the players on a meet and greet at some point. By the way, you see the prize pool, $2.25 million. That's a little. Right is a little insane. But yeah, we're gonna go with Paper X.
Yeah, Paper
Hey,
X.
oh why? Hey! I see the next team. I just hear his name in
Yeah.
my head, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't gotta say anything, right? Edward Gaming over Giants, right?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
bet.
Yep.
All right, and then elimination round we have Crew versus Giants. Are we just sniffing the America Hofium because I don't know who Giants
Yep.
are? Sorry
Yeah.
if
I
any
think
Giants fans are
they're like
listening to the podcast.
they're like I think the 5th seed from Europe because Fnatic won both events, so they get like additional teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of just 4. Yeah, I think they're like the 5th seed. So or like yeah. I think
Crew
I think
got it,
Crew's
right?
gonna
Crew
win.
got it.
Crew,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
sniffing that. We're sniffing it. All right, bet.
Yep.
All right, so we got winners finals. We got Paper X versus EDG. This one, oh my god, what do we even pick, bro? What do we even pick? Oh god.
Ooh, let's see. I wonder if these. I'm not sure how close their servers are. I wonder if they seem like they're both in Asia, so I'm not, maybe they like play each other.
No, because
But
EDG
if they,
plays on the private server in China.
yeah, they might be able to get like custom like IDs just to play like on the other, like hit the VPN. You have to we're a VPN sponsorship.
Yeah.
They hit the VPN to play against the other Asian teams. But I think Paper X got this. I think they're not gonna. Yeah,
I think
I don't
EDG will
think
put on a
everyone
good
gaming.
show.
Yeah, I think I think there's gonna be like insane like hero moments from EDG, but I think just overall, I think Paper X is gonna be able to win at least at this part stage of the game where like I think they have something back and they haven't played against each other yet, so I think they got this.
Yep, and I think EDG beats Crew. I know we're in Americas, but Crew,
Yeah.
We gotta see our boys go through King, bro.
Yep.
Oh my god, so hyped, dude! I can't wait.
Yep.
Champions is gonna be sick.
Yep.
All right, so we got. Oh, let me submit Group A pick'em. All right, we got Group B. Wait, form invalid. Hello. Oh, I had to press the qualified button. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Group B. We have some boys in here. We got probably the fan favorite for NA. Evil Geniuses versus Fun Plus Phoenix. EG probably got it. I know Fun FPX is good, and they're like they're the returning champs, right? Are they?
This is actually not. They actually moved to China, so they're a Chinese team again. They're not the European team that they had before.
So they're back in China. It's like League.
Yeah, it's like yeah, they are no longer. I think their new team is now like the old Funfuck Phoenix is now Navi. So Funfuck Phoenix is now a Chinese team again.
So we don't know anything. They could have a King just like EDG. So we don't know anything. We don't know anything. So we're gonna go with the safe bet. I think we go Evil Geniuses here.
Yeah, we don't know if they have another King, but we know we have a Demon one.
Yeah, and a Boostio. All good.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, so we got FUT Esports versus the Overwatch Retirement House T1. T1's looking, they're pretty solid despite them being all like 28 years old and from Overwatch.
Yeah.
Saya player, insane. Carpe, pretty good support player. Which is weird because he used to be the hyper carry for like all things Overwatch. And they got a couple of good players. They're just really coordinated, which makes sense because they're retired Overwatch pros. But I don't know anything much about FUT Esports. I know they're okay, but I don't think they're beating T1.
Yeah, I think they bombed. They're like Europe's third seed. I think they bombed the last term, the last Tokyo, but I think T1 got this. I think what they showed last event against EDG, I think T1 is like looking stronger. We don't know, like it's been a while, so they definitely got like both teams probably has improved, but from what we've seen, I'd say T1 looks better.
Yep. And for elimination round, we have FPX versus FUT. I'm gonna just put FPX. Honestly, they probably have a King on their team. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, like here's what I'm thinking about Chinese Valid. Either EDG literally just has all the best players, kind of like Detonation Focus Me every year for LJL, or FPX just has an insane team and they like barely lost in the China or something like that. Like we never know. Like it could be anything.
Yeah, we don't know, but then like we saw but not doing so well, but we don't know how good FPX is. So I take the risk, and I think FPX is gonna win this one.
All right, yeah, I got to agree. Ooh, okay, EG versus T1. Are we casting EG and are they winning? Is the real question. EG, we got a Demon 1, right? Is that all the argument we need? Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. T1 versus FPX. We can go the safe route, or we can go the China copium route. It's up to you.
Yeah, we have seen T1 play. They aren't bad, but then like last time they beat T1 beat EG on the first round, and then they like lost to EDG
they
on the rematch
completely. It was like pretty bad. Like they didn't do very well.
It was like I think they won the first set against EDG, and then on like they lost to I think NRG or something, and then on the loser bracket they rematched EDG and they got like stomped. So yeah, it's like do you think Funfuck Phoenix can do the same thing? I'm not sure. It's so hard when we don't have like any info on this team, but I think FPX might have like an insane player too.
Yeah,
I think
FPX. Yeah.
We're going every.
Yeah. We're China enjoyers. We're China enjoyers.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Group C is the big one, in my
Ooh.
opinion. Because
Whoa. Yeah. This one's insane. This group is
this is
insane.
insane. So I mean, can we just like put Fnatic winning all the way through? Like, is there even a question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do that really quick because they're going all the
Yeah.
way through. So we have NRG. Or first, let's talk about Zeta Division. Well, how do you feel about Zeta Division?
It was kind of sad because they didn't qualify for Tokyo and they're like the best Japanese team, but I I think they got stuck in a really hard group. They might be like the second best team in another group, but in this group, I don't think they're making it through.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Is BLG also another Chinese team, or are they part of a different region?
Yeah, I think they're a Chinese team. Yeah, I
Wait,
think they're
China gets to
either their
set all
third seed.
these teams, dude. What is this?
Yeah, I think they're their third seed. So yeah,
BLG.
yeah,
Let me go
but
to BLG Valorant.
let's
Look at Valorant.
see.
Oh yeah, they have nothing. They have, they have just these players that we don't know. Dude, they
Let me
could have
check
a
their
King.
team out.
They could have a King too, bro.
Yeah, I don't know any of these players. At least like in the other teams, yeah, they used to be CS players. I know
uh,
they're like good, but this team I know nothing about. Yeah,
oh god. But I mean, we got finesse though, right? We got W Shimmer.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we gotta go energy again.
yeah. We're going NRG. I think NRG is like this is crazy that I don't even though they're probably one of the top four teams in the tournament. I don't they're not making it out first because they have Fnatic in their group.
No, but it's okay because the two teams make it out.
Yeah, PT makes that, so
All
they'll have
right.
to go to the losers bracket.
We got Zeta Division versus BLG. It's so hard because we don't know. We just
Yeah,
don't know. Maybe we could like look up gameplay or something after the podcast, but
yeah,
I'm okay with just going BLG and then NRG beating BLG.
yeah. I think NRG, yeah, it's like the clear number two or like clear number one. I think there's a clear number one and number two in this group. So yeah,
Clear until we see BLG play. Then it won't be clear anymore.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but NRG
yeah,
got finesse and W stripper. Like, how can they lose, man? You know.
yeah.
All right, we got the last group. Probably like the most exciting group in terms of like
Ooh,
play gameplay. Uh,
wait, this yeah,
It's also, dude, every group is stacked, bro. It started to feel
this
like,
is
I mean, it is Worlds, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
this is insane. So we got Team Liquid versus Navi. Again, this is the not as Vincier without like the people like artists or whatever. So
yeah,
yeah, what do you have to say?
yeah. So Navi won the last I think the last champions that happened the last with enough artists, but they got one new player. And Team Liquid, I think they didn't play that well in Tokyo, but they did beat Fnatic to get first seed to make it to Tokyo.
Mm.
So this is the EU matchup. It's like when you're playing against someone from your own region, like sometimes you just download them because you just scrim them so much. So this is gonna be hard because we don't have that info. But I'll just take the safe bet and say Team Liquid because they
Mm-hmm.
did I qualify from a higher seed, I guess.
I will have to agree with you. I will go Team Liquid as well.
Ooh,
DRX versus Loud.
oh,
Um, yeah, this is Loud from Americas, right?
yeah, this is
But
the Brazilian Loud.
it's the Brazilian Loud, but it's not as good Loud as the other one because players got bought
Yeah,
out. I'm gonna have to
yep,
go DRX though. I think DRX is pretty strong.
yeah. I think this is like probably like the closest group where all four teams qualify. I think DRX. I think I trust DRX. I think at this stage they're less so like. I think the back at DRX really well. I think DRX is gonna get this one.
I think at this point of the tournament, DRX rolls because the thing about DRX
Yeah,
is like their playstyle is different and they're really fun to watch and it's hard to download them.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
I'll
okay
say
with
like
doing DRX over TL.
I think so too. I think yeah, at this stage of the game, I think DRX is gonna. Yeah, I think they also played better in the last tournament they showed me. So I'll say DRX also wins.
So now we got NV Navi versus Loud.
This is the Navi versus Loud. This is like finals from last year, but I would say I trust in Loud. I think
Yeah, I
they
think so
aren't.
too.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't think they're
Navi
as
is
strong as
not
last
doing
year,
too
but
hot in terms of like the best teams.
yeah, I think yeah, both of them aren't playing as well as they were last year, but I think Loud is still like they still have aspects. They still have their star too. Like well,
Yeah.
like and Navi lost artists, so yeah. So I'd say Loud wins this one.
All right, we got TL versus Loud, another EU versus America's matchup.
Yep.
I'm okay with going TL. I think Loud's great, but TL at Tokyo did pretty well in terms of performance.
Yeah, Loud did bomb out last tournament, but I Teal's probably the better team, but my America's Copium kind of wants to like
Nah, we gotta go
America over
TL, bro. No,
EU.
no, we gotta go TL, bro. We have to go TL. We can't do this. We can't do
Yeah,
this.
my delusions are getting to me ending over over EU every single time. But yeah, I think TL is probably a stronger team here.
All right, so
Yeah,
there we go, guys. We have our pick'ems. We got qualifying, Paper X, Edward Gaming. We got Evil Geniuses, Fun Plus Phoenix, with no information about them. Fnatic, NRG, DRX, and Team Liquid. Other than that, every team here is good enough to qualify. We can say that right now, but no one is
yeah,
beating Fnatic.
yeah. No one's. I honestly like. I'll take Fnatic over the field to win this tournament. I think they have over 50% chance of winning the tournament compared to like
Yeah.
every other team combined. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that is gonna be it for the Donbozos podcast. A little bit longer episode than we thought. We said before we hit the
Yeah.
record button, we're like, oh, this was gonna be pretty slow, but there was definitely a decent amount to go over, and I hope you guys did enjoy the podcast. Jeremy, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, I'm just excited. This gonna be upcoming week's gonna be pretty big. We're gonna get a league patch. Yeah, LCS playoffs happening. The Valorant Champions is happening. Worlds is gonna be slightly like in 2 weeks, I think, a little under 2 weeks. Yeah, so
Yep,
the upcoming week's gonna be exciting for games of Pokemon.
for sure, for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. Let us know. Make sure to vote on the what is he cooking of who won in the deck list. Go back and listen to the descriptions in the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And make sure to comment, like, and subscribe on the video. And follow the Spotify because we need more listeners on that. Other than that, thank you guys so much. And see you guys next week.